I'm Deep Paknikar. A very happy new year to you all. Thanks Raji for giving me the opportunity to include a few pages from my life and some of my thoughts in the UNNATI diary. UNNATI is a platform for women of Indian origin in the Pacific Northwest to share their joys, talents, problems, find support, look for resources, and get help. Feel positive and celebrate their lives. I feel very fortunate to be sharing this platform next to so many talented and inspiring women. It was funny the other day, Raji, you mentioned 2020 was so hectic for you that you were ready to disappear into the mountains. You are a sunshine, dear Raji, and you're not allowed to disappear behind the mountains, especially with the Seattle weather. No way. Jokes apart, I'm ever proud of you, Raji, and so inspired by the work you do for Kinder Connection and the community here in Seattle. I think a hectic 2020 is clearly an understatement, and I'm yet to find out from where you get the superhuman energy to give so much to the people around you. Thanks for the work you do for the community. Unnati is a Hindi word which literally means progress, development and advancement. The word reminds me of how long we have come in our collective journeys. From the inhuman Hindu custom of sati to a time now where many women of Indian origin have made it here in the USA, running Fortune 500 companies, holding positions of power in the government and even traveling into space. Our Christian, Muslim and other non-Hindu sisters from India have walked similar paths. The story I'm narrating today started many years ago when I was a little girl. I don't remember what age I was, but what I do remember is seeing this elderly woman. I don't remember her name, but I'll call her Nalu Didi or Naludi for short. She would have been of my grandmother's age, maybe a tad younger. She always wore a saffron sari, almost red looking sari, always. Her head was clean shaven and covered with the drape of her saffron sari. She had no husband and no children. I think she lived with her brother and his family. I was curious. Why was she so different from others? So different from my grandmother's? Why did she wear only saffron? I had seen the monks in the temple wear saffron. Was she one of them? But then why did she not live in the temple? Why was she bad? Was it the lice? She seemed old enough to have a family. I mean, everybody of her age had one. The young innocent mind of mine saw these patterns as odd, but could not fathom the truth behind her plight. Later I came to know that she was a child widow. She became a widow at a tender age and was relegated to a life of destitution on the passing away of her husband. Dependent and at the mercy of the extended family, with nothing to call her own. With an able body and an able mind, but with her circumstances so crippled by the cruel twist of fate, and her flowering reined in by the so-called keepers of morality. What could have Naludi done differently? What could she have been? Could she have been a doctor saving lives? Or a lawyer fighting for the rights of women? Or a teacher inspiring the future generation? Maybe a housewife supporting a strong family? A pilot? An engineer? An entrepreneur? An artist? A CEO? What was her true potential? Unfortunately, we'll never know. What could have I done to change her circumstances? Well, at that point in time, not much. I was too young. She was too old. However, I still followed through with the thought exercise, ignoring the age gap between us. Firstly, I should have been self-sufficient and independent myself so I could support Naludi. And secondly, Naludi should have had some skills that could fetch her a living so she wouldn't have to depend solely on me. It struck me that financial independence was one of the key factors for empowering women, and that would have been the path that would have made a difference in the life of Nalini. I felt strongly about the empowerment of women. I had seen my own maternal grandmother struggle to make ends meet. She would stitch and sell clothes and sell festival snacks to make a living. It was a tough life. However, unlike Naludi, at least she had the opportunity and the freedom to earn a living based on her skills. In addition, there were people around her who were ready and able to purchase what my grandmother had to offer. I understood that the key to the upliftment of women was twofold. One, to motivate educated women to grow their skills and become financially self-sufficient and stable. These women would be in a position to support themselves and their families. They would also be in a position to make financial decisions to support other women. I call this group of women, the privileged class. Majority of us would fall into this category. Number two, to help uneducated or undereducated women learn skills and help themselves create products or services of value to others. By learning skills that are valued in the marketplace, they can pave their own path to a better life. I classify this class of women as the underprivileged class. For the past 5 years, I have worked to create businesses and community support systems that empower women in both the privileged and the underprivileged classes. For the privileged class of women, I run groups at work that help women in tech find mentors and community support for career growth. To tackle the critical aspect of financial stability, I've started a company that helps women invest in real estate properties outside of their state of residence. The company primarily helps families create passive income work streams through real estate investments. I have a real estate license in the state of Washington, and I've been investing outside of Washington for the past 10 years. I've done a number of property deals in Ohio, Louisiana, Texas, Florida, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, and Washington. My latest one being an apartment complex in Texas. In fact, the passive income generated from my own past investments have given me a degree of freedom to start my own investment business. I have met a number of highly inspiring, successful women on this path, and I would love to share the learnings via a podcast for all the awesome women out there who would want more from life. My podcast is called Investorina, and I will talk about how you can up your game and balance your investments in time, money, and energy to lead your best life. Is there a woman you would like to hear from? Contact me and I'll invite them to be part of the Investorina podcast. Get in touch on investorina.com for more info. To support the unprivileged class of women, I started a business a while ago to bring eco-friendly and safe products to the market. Many of you would have already purchased on our website or the stores that carry my products. The company is called Higher Sensibility Company, HSE for short. Many of the products are handcrafted by women, and a fraction of the profits goes towards supporting women-owned small businesses. In fact, one of the products I carry is a handmade bag from a group of women in Africa. You cannot believe it. A single bag sold feeds this group of women for 2 months. Interacting with the African women, I observed that charity can support them only for so long. True empowerment lies in the ability of them to earn a living and not be dependent on the support of a single charity or a single individual. If you would like to hear more about these women or have an eco-friendly product that you would like to see on my website, drop me a line. You can check us out on highersensibilitycompany.com. I also believe that supporting the women all over the world is not an end in itself. It creates a virtuous, upwardly expanding spiral that lifts up everyone. I would like to end with a poem. I have one eco-friendly sling purse that we sell on the HSC website. It has a poem on it, and it narrates the story of a single mother who falls into tough times and how she takes an opportunity to learn a marketable skill and rebuild her life. The poem is called Tears of Joy. A dark, stormy night, and the struggles were becoming too much to bear. The roof was giving away slowly, water seeping in like drops of despair. Never again, by just saying or wishing, problems don't cease to exist. For her child's sake, for a better life, she swore to persist. She had the talent and could work hard. She just needed the opportunity. She borrowed a small sum and started a business, paving her own path to dignity. Her efforts saw success, and she could now make a living selling her creations. The damaged roof was restored, and so were their hopes and aspirations. Finally, to the leaking roof, they happily bid their goodbyes. The only drops of water now were the tears of joy in her eyes. So, my dear Unnati sisters, today we have come a long way from the days of Naludi. But there's still barriers to overcome, wrongs to make right, and mountains to climb. Let's join hands to uplift ourselves and others and climb the virtuous Unnati spiral where a better life awaits us all. Thank you.